Hey everyone, my name is Jamie Lee. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching this video today. Now today we are back in my sunroom. I have no makeup on and I figure we'll do another quick little get ready with me and yap session. I've got a little outfit picked out for today. We'll get dressed, we'll get ready. I'm going to the dentist, so honestly I'm not doing anything very fun today, but I still thought it would be fun to get ready together. Now I'm not going to necessarily go over every single product because I basically do my makeup very similarly each time, but if there's anything new, I will let you know what it is. But I always start with some micellar water just to clean my face. Today, really one of the biggest things that I guess I wanted to talk about and something I always get questions about is whether or not I have kids. I understand why people ask this question because like looking at me, I'm obviously of childbearing age. I could certainly have kids by now, but no, I don't have any kids. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to have kids. And I feel like this is a bit of a controversial topic, especially in today's political climate. It feels like it's getting extra controversial. So I did want to talk about it a little bit and also talk about child-free rhetoric in general online. And I did try this for the first time last time when I made one of these videos. It's the Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I've been using it since then almost every day and it is excellent. It feels really good and I do think that it makes my skin look a little bit extra glowy, which I do really love. And I feel like it goes on really smoothly, feels really good. Overall, I'm definitely a fan. And the other new thing that I have this time that's like completely new to me is the new Merit Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. Never tried this before. It's a brand new product from Merit. So it recommends using 1 to 2 pumps. So I will start with 2 because I definitely like a lot of moisturizer. And then I will just kind of pat that into the skin. It says to immediately follow up with makeup or SPF before it dries down. Now I use a foundation with SPF, so we'll just use that. So I am somebody that never thought I was going to have kids. From the time that I was pretty young, I always kind of thought, you know what, like that's just not for me. I don't necessarily have any great desire to be a mom. And honestly, I did a parenting class in high school where I had like a robot baby and where truly the entire goal of this parenting class was to scare us out of becoming teen parents. So it was like, motherhood is so hard. Having a baby and being pregnant is the worst thing you'll ever do. And it really, really freaked me out and has stuck with me all these years to be like, why would I ever do that? They made it sound like it's the worst thing anybody could ever do. Why would I want to do that? And I do think that that is an unfortunate downside of, I went to a Catholic high school where they only taught abstinence as birth control. So everything was very like, don't have sex or you'll get pregnant and then your entire life will be over. Everything will be ruined. Obviously now there's like this huge looming fear that not enough people are being born in Canada and the US. And they're like, have kids. It's the most beautiful thing you can do. Well, that's not what I was told. That's not what was communicated to me. So I do think that there's a bit of a messaging problem there, but I digress. Now, because I don't have kids, I do feel like over time your algorithms on social media pick up on that and realize like, oh, she's never buying baby stuff. She's never buying kid stuff. She must not have any kids. She's not looking up information about kids. And so I started to realize that I was getting fed a lot of child-free content. Specifically, when I say child-free content, I don't mean like people without kids who, you know, are just talking about their lives. Maybe it started like that, but if I watched those videos for any length of time or engaged with it at all, liked it, commented on it, etc., I found myself getting fed more and more extreme child-free stuff. So active, like child-hating content where people actively hate children, wish that they never had to see them at any point in their lives, are calling them things like crotch goblins and like just generally being like really mean towards kids. And I want to be clear, even if I end up deciding to never have a kid in my life, I just don't feel that way about children. Like, I honestly think that hating all kids, no matter what, without ever meeting them, is exactly the same as being homophobic or being racist. Like, you hate an entire group of people that you've never met for no reason. And in a lot of cases with kids, for things that they can't necessarily control, and of course I understand, I don't have kids. There are times when there are kids in public that are behaving in a way that I would consider to be somewhat inappropriate, and you can be like, ugh, that's kind of annoying. But at the end of the day, like, it's none of your business. Mind your business, you know? So I have definitely found that in general, the child-free community online, I think it almost similar to the alt-right pipeline, which we can discuss all about that if we want at some point at a later date, but similar to the alt-right pipeline, people start falling down this child-free pipeline, and I started seeing all of these videos about how horrible and awful children were, and how they'll destroy your body, and they'll destroy your life, and they'll ruin everything in your home, and no matter what, they're always disrespectful and awful to you, and they're manipulating you. And I started to even further be like, oh my God, do I want to have kids? This is really freaking me out. And at that time, I had no friends or family that really had young kids at all. So I'm only seeing all of this negative stuff online. And finally, one day I was like, I've got to stop looking at any of this child-free stuff. Start scrolling past it when it comes up, saying I'm not interested. So that's what I've been doing for a while, because I just felt like it was so negative. And I can't understand why people would want to be that negative all the time about other people's kids. These are kids you don't even know. Like, why are we being negative and like hating on them? Very weird behavior. But then on the complete opposite end of that, I also don't like seeing kids on social media, because to me, it feels very exploitative, especially video content where parents end up making like all of their videos are just like about how cute their kids are. I don't necessarily want to see that either. So I am not seeing any kids online. I'm seeing all this crazy child-free stuff. I can see how that led me to be like, oh my God, it's so negative. So now I just don't view either of those things. I don't want to see little kids in their diapers running around online, because to me, I see that and I just think there are predators everywhere and they're going to be looking at this. I've seen how disgusting my comments can be on YouTube if I, a grown woman, am wearing a slightly low-cut top with a tiny bit of cleavage. Every male comment is about my boobs. So I can only imagine what types of men are watching these videos of these little kids. And that disgusts me, so I will not take part in either child-free or kid content at this point. Now, I do think that in the past couple of years, I've started having a lot of friends who have had kids. My sister-in-law had a kid last year. A lot of my closest friends have like at least 1 to 2 kids. And in that, I think it's almost made me even more conflicted about my decision whether or not to have kids. Because some of them who wanted kids more than anything and were really excited and trying hard to get pregnant hate having kids. And some of them who didn't really think about it too much and just had them love having kids and love being parents. So I definitely feel super conflicted about, will I like it? Will it be okay? Will I be a good parent? And I definitely feel like I agonize over this decision a lot. Merritt did also send me this new little brush, so I'll try using that for the blush. So if you are either a parent, you have kids, or if you are child-free, and especially if you're child-free and older, like over the age of 40 or 50, I would love to hear from you about what your experience was like. If you're a parent, did you like the experience of raising kids? Do you feel like it fulfilled you? If you have not had kids and you're older, do you ever regret that choice? Do you wish you had have had them? Do you ever feel lonely? And obviously, I want to keep in mind, you can feel lonely even married to the love of your life, even with multiple beautiful children. Sometimes that loneliness can kind of come out of nowhere, and I fully understand that, especially when you're feeling stressed or depressed. That's a pretty great brush, very dense, which I do like for blending things like this, especially cream products. And I'm so busy yapping, I never even put any concealer under my eyes, which is great. And I have a couple little spots. I always get spots near my period, especially around my mouth. I don't know if you can relate, but yeah, I do think that it's very interesting. I've obviously been told my entire life, don't worry, you don't want kids yet, but you'll change your mind one day. But I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, one day has come. I'm 31 years old. I'm married to an amazing man that I do think would be a great dad. So I have no concerns about that. Really, my biggest concern is just, do I want to do it? Do I want that to be my life? Because I think that as a man, it's completely different. And I think in general, if I were being you know, trying to make the decision over being a dad and having kids where, you know, like you're gonna play with the kids, you'll be there in the evening, maybe you're gonna help with stuff, but you're not the primary caregiver to the kids. I just think that that's easier and a lot different of an ask versus being mom. And once again, that's not a dig at my husband or at men in general. I do feel like, especially if you're breastfeeding, like your kids are just gonna gravitate towards you because you are really their default parent, at least for the first 6-7 months before they can eat food. So just in general, I guess I would love some advice if you have had kids or if you haven't and why, what decisions you made about it, because I am definitely feeling very conflicted. I'm at that point where I feel like if I'm going to make the decision, I need to make it in the next year or two and decide and have a kid, because especially what happens if I have one and I end up wanting a second? I don't want to be having kids in my 40s. So it definitely is a crazy time. And I do really hope that this is something that's interesting to listen to, because this is really like, I've been agonizing about this for months. Honestly, maybe for a year or so. I've been like really thinking about it, agonizing about it. Like I said, I have a lot of close friends right now who have under 1-year-olds or some that have slightly older kids. And some of them are doing great and amazing and they love their lives and they love their kids. And some of them are struggling so immensely. And I know that obviously every kid's different and some of them are going to be a bit more challenging, but it does scare me to think that I will end up resenting my kids if I do choose to have them. And I absolutely don't want that. I would love to know your advice. I do also think it'll be really interesting to potentially look back on this video in 3 years, 5 years, and see where I am at that point. Will I have kids? Will my life look fundamentally different? Or will I be doing the exact same thing? And I think that that is something that I've been thinking about a lot as well. Like right now, I work during the day, I get off work, I cook dinner, do the dishes, and then I pretty much have free time for at least a couple hours a night where I'm not doing much, to be honest. I'm doing my hobbies. I'm playing video games. I'm reading books. I'm going on long walks with my dog. I'm working out. Am I going to have time to do all those things if I have kids? Probably not to the same extent, but also, like, would it be more fulfilling to be taking care of a little person? Something else that definitely freaks me out, and this is just maybe me screaming into the void because I know it's kind of a weird circumstance, but right now this is my full-time job. Like, I make videos for social media and I make ads for companies, like for them to post themselves. So I don't have a traditional job. It's not like I get paid maternity leave or anything. So that definitely scares me a bit. Like, I would either have to have a gigantic catalog of videos to post or lose income for a while and hope that people like you are still interested if I come back. Definitely a little bit scary to consider. This is an excellent mascara. It's the Tower 28 one. I absolutely love this. I have very short, stubby little eyelashes, and I do feel like this one makes them look pretty long and pretty separated. Longer by comparison, I should say. They definitely don't look long compared to other people's eyelashes, but compared to what I start with, I think they look pretty good. My favorite go-to lipstick, it's the Merit Classic lipstick. I believe this is their matte one, but they're matte lipsticks. Nothing like the matte lipsticks that we grew up with in like the beauty YouTube 2016 times. This one is still completely creamy, feels amazing on, feels super moisturizing, really lightweight. Like, you'll forget that you're wearing this lipstick. And I like this one because it's very similar to my natural lip color. It just enhances it a little bit, makes it a little bit brighter, and I have like a little bit of uneven skin tone on my lips, so I feel like this just really makes it all look the same shade of pink, which I appreciate. Now we'll do the hair, of course. I do also think that the current political climate, I live in Canada, but obviously things happening in the US affect us as well, and I definitely feel like the stress that our southern neighbors are having recently. But in general, like how overly political everything is, like nothing can just be, yeah, we all agree on this, like everything has to be so divided. Everybody feels like we're getting further and further apart in political opinions, which I find very concerning, to be honest with you. But the fact that things are getting so much more expensive, so many social programs have been eliminated, housing is so expensive, groceries are so expensive. Don't get me wrong, I am very like blessed. Financially, I would personally personally be able to support a kid absolutely right now. Like it wouldn't be a problem for us. If things are only getting more expensive, like compared to when I was a kid, I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. My parents made a tiny fraction of what my husband and I made. By all accounts, we had like a good, decent living. I worry about by the time my kids were old enough to like move out on their own, what are they gonna be able to afford? Because like minimum wage has barely gone up from when I was a kid. Wages have not gone up. I was scrolling Indeed a little while ago and saw that starting wages for a lot of companies are like 40,000. That's the same that they were when I went into university in like 2011. Like, how is that even possible that the starting wage for an entry-level position has not gone up at all? That feels absolutely ridiculous to me. The starting wage should probably, at least in Ontario, be closer to 55 or 60,000 for you to actually have like a decent quality of life, be able to afford your apartment. So I do worry, like, are we bringing kids into a system that is failing? It feels like we're reaching the end, at least to me, of late stage capitalism, where prices cannot be raised much more because people have no money and there's so much money concentrated at the top. There's no way to get that back. We need some kind of redistribution, some kind of wealth transfer. We need more taxes for the wealthy, which a lot of people will not agree with, but I am very staunch on that. Caps on how much money CEOs can make, maybe even capped at a percentage of what their lowest earning employees make, because a CEO making $200 million a year is stupid when you have employees making $10 an hour. Just doesn't make any sense to me. And I do feel like a very unfortunate side effect of capitalism, while obviously undeniably capitalism has allowed, small business owners to thrive. I probably wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now without a free market where people can come and watch my content if they want. Obviously, capitalism has allowed my husband to get an amazing job where he makes really good money. But I do also think that capitalism encourages people to focus on only them and their situation and like their immediate family and not be as worried about their neighbors, versus in a lot of other cultures and other economic systems, you're a lot more focused on like the collective of society. I'm very much somebody, and I understand that I'm privileged to be in an okay financial position where I can say stuff like this. I'm somebody that would rather pay more taxes to make sure that everybody's kids have a great education. Everybody can afford good, healthy food. There are social programs and social safety nets for people that are struggling. I would rather pay more for that to make sure everybody's doing okay. But I know that most people, or at least many people in society, do not feel that way. They want to pay the lowest possible tax, keep the most of their money possible, and they personally want to do the best for themselves, and they don't care about other people. And I think that that is a very unfortunate part of our culture, where we've just become so individualistic. And I do think since COVID, that has just gotten worse and worse. And I know that I will lose some people with that. You might not agree with me, and we don't have to agree on that necessarily, but it is something that I find personally deeply frustrating. Now with that, let's get dressed quick and put the whole outfit together and see how we're going to be going to the dentist today. Obviously, any good outfit is going to start with a base layer. So we're going to do a base layer of all NYX, my favorite. So this is our base layer. I always do a pair of thigh savers if I'm wearing a skirt, which I am today. These are my absolute favorite ones. They're the contour thigh savers. So the crotch always looks a little bit weird on them. I don't know why, so ignore that. But they have a little bit of extra compression across the front, which I just find under like a tight maxi skirt makes me feel a little bit more confident. So definitely recommend those. It's not quite as much shaping as like a shapewear would be, which I feel like makes it more comfortable to wear all day. I don't notice this amount of compression. It just makes me feel like a little bit better about myself. And then I'm going to do this green skirt. So this skirt and the black one that I also have that I've shown before on this channel are both from American Eagle, and I absolutely love them. I wear them constantly. I just feel like they are so cute. I just got one in leopard print for the fall. I hope it's going to be just as cute. As soon as it gets here, I will do a little haul and review of it. Then we have also from American Eagle, the matching t-shirt that they released literally a year after this skirt was released. They decided to come out with a matching t-shirt. So I'm so glad that I saw it because I think that it looks so cute being like fully matching. The only problem is the shirt is so thin. I do always feel like you can slightly see your bra underneath, even though like this is such a skin tone matching bra. Kind of annoying, but I do still think that it looks very cute. And then we'll take off my thick socks that I wear 24/7, and I'm going to switch them for some little frilly guys instead. We'll see, depending on the weather at the time that I leave for the dentist. I honestly might just wear sandals. Of course, we need some jewelry. In general, with all the political stuff, I do think that it's really sad how divided everybody has become. Like, obviously politics has always been kind of contentious. People have always had their own opinions, but it feels like right now we're just like so fundamentally opposed on the actual morals behind why we vote the way we do. And like, I'm not going to mince words. I want to be like completely brutally honest. I'm exceptionally liberal. In Canada, that means I'm very red. The US, that obviously has a very different meaning, but I'm very, very left-leaning, and I honestly feel like I struggle to even have conversations with people who are very far on the right because we just fundamentally disagree on like what it means to be a person, what it means to be part of society, what taking care of your community should look like. Like, we just fundamentally disagree on every aspect, and I think that that's really sad because at the end of the day, we're all just people, we're all trying our best. I know in the US right now, because I don't have kids, there would be one party saying I shouldn't be able to vote because I'm just a childless cat lady. I think stuff like that is ridiculous, and it just incites like anger and hatred in people at a time when the last couple of years have been hard. They've been hard for everybody, and we should be trying to like come together, not drive a wedge even further between us. I understand that that's their strategy to like radicalize people to ensure that they only vote for them. And I know a lot of people hate this smell. I swear on some people it smells so good, and on some people it smells like plastic. On me, this smells so good. Like a sweet little treat, and that's exactly what I want to smell like. So I always do 2 spritzes of that. And that is me done for the day. Ready to go to the dentist. The dentist scares me a lot, so I'm definitely not looking forward to it. And it's definitely a little hard to show the full outfit with this chair in the way, but super cute. If you want to see the full outfit, I always post it on Instagram, an outfit of the day every single day. And just like last time, I know that this style of video is very different for me. Let me know if you liked it or not, if you have any topics that you would like to see me discuss in future videos. I know that there were still some from the last video that I did not get to this time, so I'll try to get to them next time. I'm hoping we can maybe do videos like this once every couple of weeks. I do think that they're really interesting. I love watching like Raw Beauty Christie is one that I really like to watch her videos in this style, though I sometimes get concerned that she is going down a bit of an alt-right pipeline herself. I hope I'm wrong about that. And with that, thank you so much for watching this video today. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you have a fabulous day and that I'll see you next time. Bye!